Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today we are here once again for our monthly Q&A. And speaking of Q&As, I have a question for all of you. Do you like cats? Because Meow here asked, do you ever just breathe air? Yes, sometimes I do. Normally I like to breathe like clouds or water and things like that, but really, here's the real question, because they actually said they're just kidding. That's right, I'm just kidding too. I don't actually breathe air or water or clouds. I don't breathe anything. But anyway, here's their actual question, which is, which placeable items do you want in the game next? Obviously referring to Ponytown, because that's like the main thing that I play on here on the channel. So the next item that I want to see, like, placeable on the party island is pretty much just anything that's in the caves. Like, basically anything. I would love to see some rails come to the party island. I would love to see those stalagmites come to the party island, and some of the cave decor, like some of the walls or whatever else like that, would just be an excellent addition to the game. I don't know why we haven't gotten that. Those things have been in the game for so long, and they just haven't been added to the game. But other than that, I would love to see like proper glass walls or something like that placed in the game. That would be a really cool thing to add to the placeable items and things like that. There's a lot of things that I would love to see next, but that's a good question there, Meow. But speaking of things I want to see added to the game, what mini games or fun stuff do I hope to see start trending on Ponytown? This is something that Shane Craft here asked, and I gotta say, I don't really know. I do want to see the Boat to Brazil thing start to become like more of a trend. I really kind of expected that to like start seeing that here and there, like at the docks, people advertising that and stuff like that, because I made the Gay Box game and I didn't expect it to be popular, and then it just was, and it's an extremely simple thing, an easy thing to set up, and then you know, I've had the Boat to Brazil game for a super long time. I just never made a video on it until very recently, and then I just like, this is a super simple thing to set up, and it's fun, it's easy to do. I can imagine regiments and things like that doing this, but I still haven't seen that anywhere. I don't know why people aren't playing it. I hope people play it. I would love to see some of my other mini games that I've shared on the channel in the past become more of a trend as well, such as the Gay Ritual. That is another really fun one. All kinds of things like that. I would love to see those become more of a trend on Ponytown, where people just start playing it and stuff like that, because the more people play it and the more interest that there is, the more likely cool stuff will happen with that. But that's all I'll say about that. Let's move on to our next question, because Nana Zinni asked, what kind of games do you play besides Ponytown? I play all kinds of games. Currently, I'm playing the hell out of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been a huge Animal Crossing fan ever since the original one came out on GameCube all those years ago. I've loved the absolute shit out of the series ever since then. There was a moment, a little small time span, when I wasn't able to play the game for a while. New Leaf came out and I couldn't play it, which was terrible. I hated that, but eventually I do finally now have Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I'm going to play the hell out of it. I've been way too addicted to it. But anyway, to answer your question, I also play Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is a really fun game. I have Generations Ultimate here on my Switch, and I also have Iceborne. No, I don't have Iceborne. I have World on my PlayStation 4, so I have a couple of Monster Hunter games there. I love playing some single-player experiences like that Spider-Man for PS4. That is an awesome game. I don't really play that anymore because I've beaten it like 3 times. The story is just so good. I have to do that. There's all kinds of other things I play, of course. I play Minecraft. You guys seen stuff like that here on the channel. I play a lot of different VR stuff, such as VR Chat and Pavlov and Rec Room and things like that. There's a lot of things that I love playing besides Ponytown. And the thing is like, Ponytown is starting to get to that point where it's like, it's the same thing over and over and over again. I'm really waiting for some big thing to happen in Ponytown where I can kind of re-spark that huge Ponytown funness and everything like that. But currently, doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon. But let's hope it does, because I really need something new in Ponytown to get obsessed about. But speaking of other games I love playing on the channel, Astronomic asked, what are your future plans for the channel? And that has to do with other games. I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do on my channel in the future. Like right now, my plan is to try and find out something that you guys love watching, such as like Pavlov content, some kind of VR type content like VR Chat or something like that. I would love if you guys enjoyed that kind of content so I can share that more on my channel. I want to see, you know, what all you guys enjoy watching, and trying to figure out what I can do that I can make it like a more long-term series and things like that, and stuff like that, because I really love some of the series that I've done before, like with the Minecraft VR series. That's a lot of fun. I need to do another one of those, but that's a lot of fun. I want to do more things like that, where I just do like a weekly series or a bi-weekly series where we just do something and just have some fun. And that's something I want to do on the channel in the future, but I need to figure out what that extra thing is, because right now there's a lot of other things that I'm super interested in, and I can't just put all of them on the channel, because that will hurt my channel, of course. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do on the channel and stuff like that. That's really what my main goal right now is, to figure out what I can do to branch out from Ponytown, because Ponytown is such a limited community, and I feel like I've reached almost the maximum amount that I'm ever going to get from just the Ponytown community. So I really need to expand into other things. I'm not quite sure. Let me know in the comments below what else you guys want to see. I also, of course, I've been doing a lot of like stories and stuff like that lately. I've been writing a lot of like short stories and stuff like that, so maybe I can start sharing some of those. I did share the first chapter of my Birthmark book, the one about Skella and Birthmark and stuff like that, so maybe I'll start doing some story stuff here and there on the channel. That would be something fun that I would love to do in the future, but of course, future plans, who knows what will happen with those. But speaking of Skella and Birthmark, Dumb here asked, what would Skella and Birthmark get from Subway? Well, I think Skella would probably get just like everything. She'd just put everything on it. I feel like she would just put everything on it. That way she can get as much food as possible. I feel like that's something that Skella would do, because she would just take advantage of the system and just get as much food as possible. Whereas Birthmark would probably do something very basic and simple, like a turkey sandwich or like some kind of veggie sandwich or something. I feel like low-key he would probably be a vegetarian or something. Like, I feel like that's something that Birthmark would do. He would just want to eat nothing but like vegetables and stuff like that. But Skella would just say, hey, put everything on it. So yeah, he'd probably get something simple, but it'd probably be just mostly veggies or something. But yeah, that's a weird, interesting question. A lot of you guys had a lot of questions about Skella and Birthmark, such as this one right here by Dovercraft88 on my Discord server, who asked, if Skella and Birthmark had a time machine, what time would they travel to? To be totally honest with you, I don't really know the answer to that. I feel like they would just kind of explore and trying to find out what the best possible time would be to live in, because their lives are absolute shit, so they would want to find somewhere they can live that would not be shit. I feel like they would also, like, I feel like Birthmark and Skella would probably go back to like Skella's early childhood and like help her or something like that, and kind of change things so that she doesn't get as fucked up as she is. I feel like they would do the same thing with Birthmark's childhood as well, as they would go back and forth between them to try and help them along their childhood and stuff like that, so they don't get as much trauma and stuff like that. That's probably most likely what they would do. But yeah, very interesting question. There's a lot of things that they could do if they had a time machine, but that's never gonna happen. A gay rat asked, can I have one of Birthmark's horns for science? I want to know if it would work when it's not attached to his body anymore, you know? And the thing about that is, in the universe that I've written for, you know, Skella and Birthmark and everything like that, if you remove a unicorn's horn, it just kills them. It kills them instantly. There's no way to like remove it without killing them. It's sort of like the head transplant in real life. You can't just take someone's head off and put it on another body or something like that, because you may survive for a couple of days or something like that at absolute best, but you're just gonna die. You're just gonna die. You can't do it. It's the same thing. You can't do a head transplant. You can't do a horn transplant. That's just how it works. You can't remove a horn without killing the person. If you shatter the horn, it could potentially kill them, but they could also still survive that. That's how it works in universe. If you do remove a horn, there is still a little bit of residual magic in the horn, but that magic is limited because it can no longer produce extra magic. So if you do remove a horn, you could probably cast 1 or 2 spells depending on what it is, and then the horn would just be out of magic and you would have to get another one. So that opens up the possibility for a lot of interesting stories that I may just be working on. So let's find out. Zachary the Pony also asked a question about Skella, which is, what if Skella was canon in the MLP universe? What would that be like? What would happen if she was canon in the MLP universe? So if she was canon in the MLP universe, I think what would happen is, I think she would mostly just be like this legend or this like myth or something like that, where it's like, ooh, look out, there's that green horse that's been murdering people or something like that, and it would probably be something like that, where it's like a legend or a tale, like, hey, don't go to this part of the woods because that's where the green horse lives that will kill you, you know, something like that. I feel like that's mostly what it would be. they would probably like, because it's like a kid's show, they're probably not going to do something like, oh, it'll kill you. They'll probably change the wording there a little bit, but ultimately that would be what they mean. And another one here for Skella and Birthmark. AC asked, what are Skella and Birthmark's sexualities? Well, Skella is straight. She is a straight mare, so she only likes males. But she is ace. She is asexual, so they don't do that stuff. Birthmark, however, I've gone back and forth on this a lot. Even in the book itself, there's some moments there. I'm not going to spoil anything like that, but I would say that he's probably straight. Because I've always felt like in the book when I was writing it, I felt like maybe he was mostly confused about everything, and then ultimately by the end of it, he's learned that he's straight or something. So I feel like he's straight, but maybe bi-curious. I don't know. But let's move on to another question. Because Vanessa Magnifier asked, which of the elements of harmony do you represent the most? I've had this question many times in the past. Some people have just told me that I represent almost all of them because I'm very truthful and I'm kind and I'm generous. I help people and all that other stuff. But honestly, I have no idea. I would say that if I wanted to pick one, I would probably pick the kindness one, because that's just what I would want to be the most, I guess, out of all of them, because it's a good one. Although magic is also pretty cool, but you know, who knows? I'm just gonna say kindness. Let's just say that and move on to our last question, shall we? Because this last question is by Victoria Mizzuwowski. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right, but they asked how long have I been playing Ponytown? This is very simple to answer. All I have to do is go into Ponytown and type in /account date, and it will give me this answer right here. There you go, there's your answer, and there is the end of this video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I'll see you next month for another one. I do hope that you'll enjoy the rest of my content, and maybe even consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do those wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.